Morning guys, sorry I have to wait for that thing to show live. I'm going to work through the book of Revelations for you, and I'm just going to take out the easier parts for you to see clearly. Some of the parts are more difficult to explain, so I'm going to show you the obvious things of the book of Revelation for you to understand that it is not a future book. So today we are starting with Revelation 1 verse 1. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ. That sentence in and by itself explains the whole book. That word revelation is apocalypsis, which means unveiling, revealing, appearing, coming. Let's just stick to unveiling. So the book starts off with saying, this is the unveiling of Jesus Christ. Now you have to connect the dots. When was there an unveiling? If I go to the cross, firstly, Jesus says, everything prophesied by the law and the prophets will now be fulfilled. He's on his way to the cross. In another place, he says, all the law and the prophets prophesied up until John. So what he's saying, everything was finished at the cross. What happened at the cross? The veil in the most holy place, or to the most holy place, was torn, bringing union between the inner court and the most holy place, which is actually the soul dimension and the spirit dimension, which is a wedding. Okay, so when Jesus was unveiled, he said, my body is the veil that was rent for you. Now I put some scriptures showing that his flesh was the veil. So when he died on the cross as the old Adam, and he came out of the grave as the last Adam, he was unveiled as from above. He was unveiled as the anointed. Now he told them all of these things, but this was his unveiling. How? He was a picture of the temple. So if I look at the temple, they kept on with their sacrifices and thingies, and then the veil was torn. His flesh was torn to bring unity between the thoughts of God and the soul of man. Okay, a wedding, to become one. Christ in me, the hope of glory. The mystery revealed. We'll see the mystery later in Revelation. So where people have got it wrong with this book, well, I can't explain how many places they got it wrong, but the first verse says, God gave him the revelation. Who's him? Jesus. Would God give Jesus the revelation while he is in heaven? No, clearly not. He would already know everything when he's in heaven, if we speak in those terms. So when he was walking on the earth, he said, no man knows the day or the hour. No one. Then he goes to pray, and he sweats blood. Now why is he sweating blood? He's in the most holy place. He's in the Garden of Gethsemane, the press, where he has a revelation, a vision. Now it doesn't say that there. He was praying to the Father. So the Father was obviously speaking back to him, revealing to him what would soon take place. Then he comes down to the disciples and he says, the hour has arrived. Now before that, he said, not even myself, the Son of God, knows the hour. Now, after praying, after intimacy with the Father, after revelation, he says the hour has arrived, which comes along with what he said. All the things prophesied will now be fulfilled. And then he says, it is finished. You'll find that in Revelation later as well. It is done. So what was done? Firstly, the law required a sacrifice, a death, and he fulfilled the requirement of the law. So he brought the flesh to a death, unveiling the most holy place, unveiling the Christ man, unveiling the new creation. You are born from above. So Jesus then says in Revelation 1 verse 1, after he received it, he gave it to John. John received this revelation 35 years after the cross. So now people have said this is a future event. We're all waiting for the coming of the Messiah. Now that word coming, as I said in the beginning, is the word unveiling, appearing, revealing. If a thought comes to you, there's a coming. We're not speaking in the natural. If a thought comes to you, there is a happening, a revealing, an unveiling that happens in your mind. Okay, so that was the unveiling of the thoughts of God in the mind of men. Jesus, the thoughts of God, coming on the clouds, men are clouds. So the thoughts of God coming upon, revealing, unveiling, appearing in the soul of man. What was the picture in the temple? The soul of man uniting with the thoughts of God. That was why the veil, which is your flesh, which is the 10 commandments, the law, your carnal nature, your desire to be led by your own pleasing, that thing has to die. You are daily being led by your own understanding and not by the Spirit. So there's no wedding happening, therefore there's no unveiling or revealing of who you truly are. This is just Revelation 1 verse 1. There is no future nonsense event of the end of the world. Go study the Bible. It was the end of the age of the law. The law was 1,500 years. I'm going to repeat many of these things because it seems I have to tell everything over and again because people don't read the scripture for themselves. If you want to learn these things by yourself, first start with step 1. Write down every law scripture from Romans to Revelation. Write it down. Read it. Don't Google it. It's a relationship. Read it and find out what the Father is saying to you concerning the law, which is the 10 commandments. You will find it there, I guarantee you that. And see which covenant are you walking under. Are you under grace, which you confess to be, or are you actually operating under the law because you judge everything that you see and you judge yourself even worse? Okay? So Revelation 1 verse 1, the unveiling of Christ. My body is the veil that was rent. Jesus himself says the unveiling was the cross. There's no place for you to have another revelation in there. He's explaining it to you. So his body was the veil that was rent, and this happened on the cross, and this book is the unveiling of that event. Now, the unveiling of Christ is also the unveiling of the Word, the revealing of the Word. Most of you only know the normal Word, the literal Word. When I push the law scriptures to the back and I bring the grace scriptures to the front, what this means is what I need to do to be good enough compared to what God did to show me I am good enough. These scriptures that I pull to the front, this is the revealed Word. The Bible up to the book of Revelation has a mixture of law and grace. Most people don't know this. It starts off in Genesis with 2 trees, law and grace. Okay. So when you read the book of Paul, the books of Paul, he is in the inner court, mixture. He represents the church, which is the soul, which represents mixture. Okay, double-mindedness. So here Paul will tell you that you are seated in the most holy place. You are perfect. The next chapter, he will tell you to keep the 10 commandments. Honor your father and your mother and what. So on this chapter, you are eating from the tree of life. And on the next page, you are eating from the knowledge of good and evil. Now he says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. He will not prosper. Were you hot or cold? Were you under grace or under law? I could do something for you. But now you have come into lukewarmness, mixture, double-mindedness, and you are unstable. You are going nowhere. Okay, so Revelation 1 verse 1 was the unveiling of the cross, of the Christ man, which is actually the unveiling of the New Testament. Okay. How I can explain this? When we start going through the book, we will get to the 7 seals that were sealed. Daniel saw the scroll that was sealed. No one could open it except the Christ, because he is the scroll. So when he opens the scroll, I don't want to go there now, but it is the unveiling of the New Testament, and he rolls up the old scroll and it goes to destruction, the old man. I hope this helps someone out there, but I'll be doing video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can see where you are in this little session. and then feel free to comment or inbox me on any questions you might have. Okay, have an awesome Sunday. Be blessed. Cheers.